Well, hello, I'm Erica, and I'm here with my teammates to talk a little bit about our Geriatrics Week group project, the Lily Project on advanced care planning for Maplewood Manor. So Niharika, I'm excited about our project, and I know you are too. Would you like to share with those who are watching what exactly is advanced care planning and what makes our topic so important and personal?
Sure, this topic is really personal to me. On Mother's Day this year, my grandfather passed away peacefully in his hometown in India. While my family living here in the US couldn't be with him in the end because of the pandemic, we took solace in understanding that the end of his life was on his terms. This really planted a seed in my head. What do my parents really want in their old age? After months of wondering when it was going to be a good time to bring it up, I finally requested a family FaceTime to begin this series of conversations. It was initially difficult and emotional, but my goal was to make sure my parents' wishes were respected as my grandfather's was. As students in the healthcare field, we're constantly honing our soft skills to help normalize these conversations around end-of-life care. We're also in this really unique era where we're learning how to provide compassionate care through a video. What we're coming to understand is that just because we can't physically be with our loved ones doesn't mean we should put off having these conversations. Advanced care planning is the process of discussing and documenting goals, values, and treatment preferences between individuals, family members, and their healthcare providers. The appropriate use of ACP helps to decrease unnecessary hospital admissions and focus on patient comfort. Unfortunately, a recent study showed that at least 35% of nursing home residents didn't have ACP documents completed.
35%. Wow, that's a lot. Turning now to you, Tristan Cameron. Tristan, what do you think is contributing to this gap, and what are some of the ways that we can improve it?
Some barriers to having ACP documents are the lack of staff time, discomfort with these conversations, and a lack of access to family members. Our goal is to enhance ACPs in Maplewood Manor through a partnership between an interdisciplinary team of healthcare students, Maplewood Manor residents, and their families. We aim to document their goals and plans for end-of-life care, provide education about potential end-of-life interventions, involve family members and power of attorneys, develop student skills, and normalize these types of discussions.
A student organization of interdisciplinary health students. I'm intrigued. Cameron, can you tell me a little bit more about that? What specifically would these students do?
We will host yearly training sessions for healthcare professional students each fall to develop their skills for discussing end-of-life care. Students will then meet with Maplewood Manor patient residents and their families virtually to discuss their goals of care and to complete advanced care plans. Completed ACPs will be shared with the patient's PCP and recorded in the EMR. Every 6 months to yearly, students can check back with their patients to revisit their goals of care and to update their ACPs if needed. We will track the number of patients that have ACPs 6 months prior to beginning our partnership and 6 months post-implementation. We will also record when ACPs are revisited. Our goal is to have 90% of residents with an ACP 6 months post-implementation.
What an interesting model for delivery. Emily, what do you think are some of the unique strengths of this approach?
This model provides education and an ongoing conversation that also involves family members. ACP documents will also be more frequently updated and account for life changes as they happen. Additionally, students will gain insight into longitudinal interprofessional patient care while strengthening vital communication skills.
Those are some impressive strengths. You mentioned valuable insights into interprofessional care that students would bring. Camilyn, what are some examples of individual strengths?
Audiology students can ensure functional hearing aids or a non-custom amplifier for residents with hearing impairments that will allow them to be actively engaged in the process. Pharmacy students can provide education about the different types of end-of-life interventions to help residents decide which ones will be best acceptable to them. Medical students have insight on the course and nature of a variety of disease processes and can assist in navigating the expectations of the resident. As a dental student, we are able to see and interact with our patients on a regular basis. This provides an opportunity for us to discuss advanced care planning with our elderly patients and provide them with the appropriate resources and referrals.
That is brilliant. After all, one of our main jobs is to completely normalize these tough conversations so they aren't so tough anymore. Hopefully one day people won't think it's weird to have this conversation at a dentist office, or more importantly, in their own living rooms. So we've talked a little bit about the sort of rosier aspects, but for balance and transparency's sake, David, can you tell us about the potential barriers and how we would address them?
Sure. One barrier we foresee is equipping the residents with tablets and hearing aids for the intervention. We'll address this by acquiring donations as well as fundraising if needed. Communication may be another issue, ranging from gathering all the necessary parties to ensuring the residents can understand what's going on. We'll address this with services such as Zoom. We'll also use our audiology colleagues and translation services to make sure that residents are engaged in the conversation.
Okay, well, it seems like you really thought things through. So on to you, Erin, to bring us home. What are the future plans of this project?
We have two key plans. The first is improving ACP planning via increased integration with EMR. We want students to receive alerts about the resident they are caring for when there has been a change in their health status, such as a hospitalization. This will allow students to address ACP changes if deemed necessary. Additionally, we would like ACP documents and encounters to be easily accessible in the Care Everywhere dashboard on Epic. The second is to seek funding to create an interdisciplinary health fellowship to allow for student-led innovation projects and ensure continuity of the program.
Wonderful. It seems like students can really be the innovators for change in ACP. Thank you, team, for answering my questions. And of course, thank you out there for joining us. We look forward to hearing your questions.